Hello, everybody, and welcome to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tell a friend. Hello, party people. We are here to discuss our favorites. Jamal, am I speaking for you as well? Is this a favorite?
This is a mess. Yes, it's my favorite.
Okay. This is Married at First Sight Australia, episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8. Are you guys ready? Jamal, are you ready?
I mean, let's just go.
Okay,
It's a lot.
everybody, hit the like buttons. I just hit my like button. All right, so let's start off with episode 5, where we see the last of the two weddings, right? So we see
Mhm.
Tony and Morena. Tony's 55. He's a charter boat captain from New South Wales. Morena is 57. She's also from New South Wales. She's a fitness instructor and a DJ. And then the other couple that got married was Jackie, who's 29 and from Sydney, and she's a consultant. Then you have Ryan, who's 36 from New South Wales, and he's a project manager. And this was the best wedding I ever saw in my entire life.
Which one, Jackie?
Yes.
That was hilarious. I'm sorry.
So, do you want to quickly go through the weddings because these two weddings were real messy, but for two totally different reasons for me.
Right, let's go ahead.
All right. So, who do you want to pick apart first?
Oh, Tony and Marina.
Okay. All righty. So, a little background. For Tony, his parents originally came over from Macedonia. They were married for, they came over in the 60s. They were married for decades, but they both passed, and he lives in their house that they left to him, and he still has his mom's chickens out in the backyard. Morena was in a marriage for like 29 years, I think. She's got two kids. One of them is special needs, but it seems like her previous marriage was very controlling. And once she got out of that situation, um, like the husband never thought she would like have the courage to go, but she left, and she's built this new life for herself. But it seems like she has some internal struggles that hasn't been thoroughly sorted through from that marriage. But she seems like a really nice woman. She's built a small house in her backyard for her oldest son, who has the disabilities, and her two kids are great. Love them. Tony doesn't have any kids, but he's got a wild and wacky family. Um, I can't remember the name. Like I know Grappa because she is of Italian descent, um, but they have the equivalent from where he's from Macedonia. And the pre-marriage prep for him was kind of scary. I love one of his cousins, and then the other one I didn't like.
Right.
But yeah, like they seem like a cute couple, age appropriate, fun. I love me a sea captain. Mm.
So stupid. But yeah, I thought they were a very good match.
Let me put him back.
She is beautiful.
Mhm,
He's aging gracefully. We said they would
mhm,
have a lot of fun together. But we see some things coming to the surface later. But
mhm.
based on the wedding, like everyone seems happy except for the one cousin who's an idiot. He's a hater. He's like his cousin Steven. He's just like one of those hater dudes. Like, sir, you're probably alone. You probably running around here chasing after 22-year-olds. Talking about girl, like I got this here coin. Let me buy you like a shrimp platter that sister. Like he doing something. Like he's just like one of those kind of dudes. Like, ugh, just annoying. Like this is why you're alone, sir. Mind your own business.
Oh my god. I have to say apologies to Heidi Black. I forgot to tell her happy birthday yesterday because I was having the most miserable week ever. But no,
Oh,
happy belated birthday, Heidi Black. You're the best. Um, what are we saying about? Oh my God, the wedding goes off. They seem to be great, but Steve, let's when Steve started talking about how old Morena was, because Morena's like three years older than Tony.
50, yeah, 53 or 57. But here's the funny part though. He was like, she wasn't age appropriate, and then Tony's like, well, like she's older than me. He's like, what? He's like, she's 57. He thought she is. He's like,
Mhm.
wow, that is old. So he didn't know this. Let me tell you, this. Here's my whole thing with Steven. This is telling me his idea. He probably thought Morena was like maybe 50, early 50s. He feels that age appropriate is not appropriate for Tony.
He said,
That's what that
what did
is.
he say? He said something like, "I think you could get someone like 40."
40.
What does that mean? And then he brought up
You could
something
get away
about
with
the
it.
club.
He said you can get away with it, is what he said.
Yeah. And then he started saying, like, when I was 15, we used to go to the club, but y'all not 15 no more.
And that's what Tony said.
And I wish Tony would have like said something to him a little bit earlier, because it wasn't until the end of all of that diatribe where Tony was like, hey, like, slow it down. She's a nice lady. Slow it down. But Steve's rationale was kind of strange. She was like, you could tell she's a good woman. Look at her children, but he could do better. That's how it came across to me. And I was just like, can Tony do better? And apparently Tony has like two failed marriages. I
Right? I
think
mean,
they
here's the thing.
only talk about one, but he actually has two.
Here's the thing. If Tony could do better, wouldn't he
Mhm.
have done better by now?
Exactly.
Given his what he wants out of his life. So
Hmm.
something's not working for Tony, which is why he came on this show.
You know what's probably not working for Tony? Steve.
Probably.
They go on a honeymoon. The honeymoon seems to be going okay, but I don't remember much of their honeymoon. Um,
Oh, they were sleeping in the bed. She kept going on him, going off on him about him snoring.
wasn't that after they checked into the Skylofts?
Was that the Skyloft or was that the honeymoon? Oh, you're right.
Oh,
That was
no.
the
Yeah,
Skyloft.
we didn't
That
see much of
was.
their honeymoon. It
We
wasn't.
didn't.
We didn't really see them talking until they got to the condo
The apartment.
hotel.
You're absolutely right. Because you know what it was. That just tells you we saw nothing of their honeymoon. That went straight to the
Yeah,
Skyloft.
yeah, it was crazy. Like we didn't see much of them at all. There was like a couple. Like I don't remember seeing much of Ree and Jeff. Did we see much of Sierra? I know we saw too much of
Only when he was in
Adrian.
there. Only like the fact that she thought he was very handsome and his opinion was nice for her. That's what we know. That's what. But we didn't see nothing else though.
Yeah, it's very odd what they're doing, and I do not like how we didn't get a commitment ceremony right after they had the first dinner. What's going on there?
Right.
Oh my god. But anyway, the next wedding we had was Jackie and Ryan. Now, oh, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Jamal, you run down these two idiots.
Okay. Here's the thing. Based on what I saw and based on what I retained and understand, they are they both think very highly of themselves,
Hmm.
like very highly. They
Hmm.
see themselves as very high value people. Jackie, was bullied as a child. When I say child, I mean like high school years. She says she works on herself every day. She has all these accolades. She knows she's a cat. She knows she's hot. Blah 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 blah. She likes to date very intelligent men, like investment bankers, software engineers. Like those are her people. That's what she wants. That's what she wants, right? Now, if you go
Mhm.
Ryan, his okay. Tell me if I'm wrong. I got whiplash with Ryan because when they get his package, like where are the Warriors gone? Where have all like the Knights gone? And then he's talking about himself, and they show him. I'm like, what you described and what you look like in your demeanor does not match to me. You give me very, very like, you
Incel.
know, n- no, he's like that. Okay, the best way I can put it. Do you? I'm gonna date myself a little bit. Do you remember like Michael J. Fox in Secret of My Success? Do
No.
you remember that? Okay,
I remember the
Eh,
movie. But did I remember like what happened in
right.
it? No, I
Okay,
remember the
like
movie.
he started off in like the mailroom, I think, and
Mhm.
he's kind of lucked his way into position. Ryan strikes me as that dude. He was like maybe a barista at Starbucks, right? And he sold the
Mhm.
right person, like the right croissant on the right day and got lucky. You know, it's just like there's nothing that says leader about him. There's not something that says like warrior general. Because and I say general, 'cause I know Debbie only likes the officers. So he
That's because they
doesn't
have better uniforms.
because he doesn't give me like a leader at all.
Mm.
Like he couldn't lead me to the beach with GPS. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry.
But here's the thing,
And
though.
uh,
When he started carrying on about that warrior shit, I was like, did you just finish playing Dungeons and Dragons with your friends?
you know what?
I That's what came over to me. And then there's something about his neck that gave me Klingon or Earthworm. And I just I couldn't I couldn't understand it. I could not understand it. Yes, they're very confident in themselves, but he wasn't showing me what he has done to be so confident. She, on the other hand, walks around with
She
her
will tell
resume
you her
ready.
resume ready.
And she's in a very accomplished person. But I I think both of these people think way too much of themselves. I think that they're both trying to dominate the relationship and all they're doing is
Agreed.
destroying it. And the best thing that happened to them was him dropping her and his reaction to her reaction to it and his reaction to it, because I thought it was going to be the other way around and I was shook.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to these two. Here's the
Mhm,
problem with these two, and tell me if I'm wrong.
mhm.
She has the energy that she wants him to have.
But she's
You
not
can feel her,
allowing it though.
but he doesn't. He's not giving off. The reason why she's acting that way and getting away with it because he
Mhm,
doesn't give off that energy. He gives off
mhm.
very, very like um wet sponge energy. He does. Like she doesn't think she does not feel he can lead. That's what it is. Pure and simple. Pure and simple.
She has
And
no
I
faith
hate
in him.
zero, none.
Mm-mm-mm.
But she also thinks she can fix him.
But he
Well,
doesn't
she
need to be
did.
fixed
Well,
because
she did. She
both of them are petty as fuck.
pretty much. That is true.
Mm.
They
So
are petty.
do you want to talk about like when he dropped her?
I was just like, oh my god, I hope she didn't hit her head. That was my first thing. Well, that was the second thing I thought. The first thing I thought that's a bad idea, sir. Your arms don't look strong enough.
Oh
She's a
my
fit
god.
girl. She's a fit girl. Like she
She's
got some muscle
not
tone
that
to
that
her.
was all dress. She's not that big. And then
No, I'm saying,
he
but
tried
she's
to
real fit. Muscle is big.
yes, I agree with you on that.
Which is why
But
I said his arms didn't look strong enough for that.
he said he's like power not power,
He,
protect.
he, yeah.
he could protect. And honestly, his friend with the beard who screamed out, you ruined everything. You fucking dropped her. You can't even hold her up. Your arms aren't strong enough to hold her up. Something his friend with the beard that was sitting at the head table with him was everything for me. And I honestly thought, because in all of the previews, we always see her crying, I thought that she was going to be the one to freak out
Yes,
about that.
right,
With her being a former Miss New Zealand, she's always ready, and I think that's why she always has her resume on ready, because she's been in that pageant world where you have to do that 30-second elevator pitch to sell herself. So she's so used to selling herself that she doesn't know how to just be herself. I don't know if
right.
that makes sense. So
No, I got it.
I was just like, oh, this is annoying, whatever. So he drops her. He helps her back up. Production comes straight over. They take her back to the head table. I don't remember him asking if she was okay. Production came over and asked her if she needed a medic. How is her head feeling? Like, does she need to go to the doctor? Like, they were asking all the questions per the insurance policy.
Exactly.
So she said no. They got it on film. And then he tells the production person, I'm going to need you to edit that film, because we can't have her, like, on the floor. It's very embarrassing, all for her, not for me, but for her. And so they're like, yeah, whatever. So you good, Jackie? Great, let's continue. And he's sitting there and he starts getting in his head, and she is like laughing. Everybody else is laughing. It was fun, great. He says that he's not feeling well and goes off to a room. Production goes after him, is like, are you okay? And he's like, I'm gonna really need you to take that footage out. And I'm like, look at this man. There was no care or concern for her. It was all about him. He was a failure for me at that point. And she was complaining about the taking the pictures and he wouldn't give her the jacket. If she had saw that, I don't think she would have went to the apartments. I really don't.
And I'm going to agree with her on this one. Because she kind of said what she wants in her man, blah blah blah. I'm like, you see her up there shivering. It's cold. And you're not gonna give her your coat. That should be like a. I'm sorry. I do agree with her on that one. I'm gonna give her something, and I'm gonna
Oh
give
my
her
god.
that.
And the walking down the aisle, he didn't take her hand and lead her down the aisle. She had to do it. And I'm like, are we really getting this petty? Y'all are on a show, and this idiot doesn't know how to be in front of a camera like how you do.
Fair. But
Oh
see,
my God.
Debbie, you wouldn't have entertained him though.
No, because I don't like his neck and I don't like his head and I don't like his ears. It's just either it's too Klingon or Earthworm for me. And I don't care if that's bad. I am entitled to have my preferences. And besides,
I,
he's too
I,
young for me.
even Tony's too young for you.
No. Oh, yeah.
No, he's too
Yeah,
young
he
for you.
is. Yeah,
You
he
know
is.
damn well you like them 75 with no kids. Quit playing.
They could have kids as long as they cut out of the will.
Again, 75 with no kids. But we knew I kind of knew, but I knew they was gonna be a flop though. Just by the way she looked at him, he's not
Mhm.
blonde. Just they were petty and superficial, and it
Mhm.
was funny. But you could see this is just not gonna work. I'm like, oh, you gonna be the mess. I'm like, okay, here we go. So this couple I kind of wrote them off as y'all gonna be drama, and she's gonna be coming back in some capacity.
Yeah. Yeah. But they were entertaining, and I loved her blue dress. I really liked it. She stood out. She stood
Agreed.
out.
Oh,
Um,
you didn't put that photo up.
Yeah, I did. It's up.
It's up. Oh, sure is. No, I see
Oh, wait.
Miranda and
Oh,
Tony.
them. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Wait. Hold on. Where is she in blue? Here she is. Okay. Jackie and Ryan. See, okay, on SpongeBob SquarePants, is there like a wormy thing that's on that show? Older, richer, and in bad health? Yeah,
Hmm.
basically
Hmm.
that's me. That's me. Debbie ain't even putting up the. She don't like her, Tracy. No, I forgot. You know why? Because I was too busy looking for this. Happy
Now,
birthday, Heidi!
now, Debbie,
Happy birthday.
you a connoisseur of the fashions. I know you saw this.
Yeah. What?
I want to know,
Mhm.
didn't his tie and his collar irk you?
Yes, it did
It
because
bothered me to
his
no
top
end.
button was open. And I personally do not like those spread collars. I like a collar that comes in, but it made it even more disheveled because the top button behind his clip-on tie was open. So he did not get the proper sized shirt for his fat neck.
Okay, so he was looking like homeless, kind of homeless, right? It wasn't just me.
He
Because
wasn't tailored.
his collar irked me.
Yeah.
The fact, okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. And I know it's
Mhm.
petty, but it was just distracting because I'm like, sir, do you realize that your collar should not sit over your tie like that? Like it's a clip on. Why couldn't you just put the collar under the bow tie? To
Well, here's the
to
thing. He had on a spread collar. Like, I don't know the official name for it, but there are different collars. Like, you could have one that's close in, or you could have one that's really far apart. And if you have one that's really far apart, you use those big, fat ties, like old school velvet ties, like so that
right.
you don't see that. But he had on a standard, you know, hook on bow tie. He didn't even have one that he tied himself. So he had that on. And then he didn't have it tight enough. Because then and then the top button of the shirt was open, making the collar even wider. It was horrible. All you need to do is like go to a store. If you don't know your neck measurement, go to a store and they will
Hold on.
measure your neck for you and get an appropriate tuxedo shirt.
Okay, you see the photo, right?
Mhm.
Why couldn't he look like this at his wedding?
Because the top button was open and he was bitching and moaning about dropping the girl. He
Okay,
was
we can move on from now.
really sweaty. And I don't even think he was wearing an undershirt either. Ugh.
Also, Debbie saying he's looking real moist. Okay, next.
Oh my God. I'm so behind in the chat. Okay. So, who do you want to talk about next?
I think so. We're done with the weddings at this point, right?
Yes. And let's see if there's any drama that happened. What did I say? Oh my God, why does Ryan come across to me as someone who sits in a basement playing Dungeons and Dragons 24 hours a day? That was my initial impression. Not good. Okay, so there's no more for that episode. So let's go over to 6. So the honeymoons are over, basically, and they are heading off to the dinner party. So like a lot has happened. Um Everybody comes back from the honeymoon. They're back in Sydney. Um we learned that Elliot is still gone, but he requests a meeting with John. That was in this episode, was it? Or is that the next episode? I know I have the dinner party in this episode. Hold on. Yeah, the his meeting with John has to be in episode 6. Jamal, are you on mute?
There we go. Sorry. Yeah, it
Mhm.
has to be in six. It was very early in the when am I watching? So
In
if
the
it wasn't in
episode.
five, it was in six for sure.
Okay, so let's talk about that meeting. Cuz John wasn't playing. John was like, "You pull me from my good day off and you coming to tell me this bullshit and you know that this show has absolutely no guarantees?"
Okay, why did he go off on him? When he said, you know, you're 35, um, a single, but he's like, and Ellie like, yeah, I know that's the narrative. He's like, oh, that's not narrative, that's just facts. I'm like, you know what?
John
Like,
wasn't here
Joe,
to play.
no,
He wasn't here to play. And but Elliot needed that.
he did.
Elliot needed that. And I don't know, I've been hearing some tittle tattle about how they're letting him come back to, I think, tackle with Jackie. Y'all in the chat, y'all, did somebody mention that last week? It's the episode where Elliot had a meeting with John. Okay. Farmada, was it you who mentioned last week that Elliot's coming back with the beauty queen? The beauty queen is Jackie. The meeting with John took place in the same episode with the dinner party. Yes. Okay. So it's in this episode. Um, I just thought that he was Elliot was very presumptuous in his wrongness. He I don't know, like what was the point of having that meeting? You
Right.
broke your
Agreed.
contract. You bailed on your wife. You refused to give it a chance. Um, because of your like you know so much. You know what's right. The experts do not. So how's that working for you, Elliot?
That's what John was trying to tell him. Like, he's like,
Mhm.
you tried it yourself and it's not working for you. So, yeah.
He was a wasted spot. And I agree with Lauren that like he took away her opportunity. Honestly, you want a 25-year-old? Go, you can pick those up on the beach or at the bar or at the club. You don't need to come to maths. I don't think you were ever serious. And I think you're really too full of yourself. And I believe Lauren when she said that you had body odor. Wasn't listening. Oh, different. And then even like he told John, I disagree with everything that you've said. So you're still not listening. So why
And
should we
John,
entertain your conversation?
but then John said, I know you do. I hollered. I'm like, you know what, John? You just, John, stop eating him up.
John was not playing with him. John was like, y'all call me in from the beach and my wife to come sit down and talk with this troll. Next. Mm-mm-mm.
You see,
Um,
Camille said it's rumored that both Ellie and Lauren will be returning to the show with different partners.
I want Lauren to come back, even if
So
she's
do
one of
I.
the what are there the interfering the
Intruder
intruder.
rides. I don't care.
Yes, even if she's an intruder, I want her to have the experience with somebody who's like semi decent and who takes a bath. And I trust me, he is 35. By the time he hits 40, you see how much he keep pulling back the top of his hair? He's gonna be
Yes.
balding. He's gonna be balding, and his miserable self is going to start reflecting on his face. Actually, it already has, because when they did a close up on him, I've never seen somebody so dehydrated as him. You look
Stop.
at his eyes, they're sunken in, they're beady, and they're starting to form wrinkles like he's really dehydrated. Drink some water, dude. Maybe that'll help with your body odor as well. Mm. Um, let's head on over to the dinner party. All the couples are getting ready. They show up. Karina and Paul are the first to arrive. Then it's Dave and Jamie, Jackie and Ryan. Katie walks in alone, and everybody's asking her what happened. What happened? She tells the story about how Tim ran away.
So
Um,
I won't say this right now.
mhm,
Probably unpopular opinion with the internet, but Katie disappointed me in this dinner party greatly.
mhm.
She greatly disappointed me. It may be an unpopular opinion, but that's okay.
Why? How? How?
Because here's the thing, ma'am, you are CEO. You are a beautiful woman.
Mhm.
Why you told the girls the story, right? You need to come there. You need to come in there 10 toes down and both breasticles up and ready for action.
Not the
I
breasticles.
didn't I did not get that from her. And the issue is she allowed him to like she told the girls what happened, but then she kind of backpedaled. Oh, don't like y'all, I don't want to be mean to him, I don't want everyone getting of it. No, this is what the dinner parties are for. Let the girls get him. Jamie and Karina was fighting harder for her than she was, and that's what bothered me.
Right, but don't forget her history.
I get that, but here's the thing, and it may be because I was told this way long
Mhm.
ago. Never be desperate to be with someone who's not desperate to be with you. And I'm gonna give her a little grace in my disappointment because she came on the show and you could see the desperation with her.
Yes.
So when your desperation shows like that, it makes you more susceptible to people like Tim
Hmm.
to spin on you because basically what he's done is gaslighting, but also using her desperation and her insecurities against her, which is how he was able to like somehow make himself the victim.
Mm, but I think she made a good recovery though. I think we've got to like that was a hard pill to swallow during that dinner party. But I think she made a good recovery. She just needed to see the she needed to see it for herself and have time to process it without everybody
Well,
being around her.
yeah, she came back when she saw his audition tape.
Yes. Yes. Because then when she got together with the girls after that, she flicked off the ring. She got together with Jamie and
And
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yes. And that was I thought that was a good recovery for her because I think she learned a little bit more about herself and she got stronger with the support of these women. All of the women were rallying around her, and even some of the guys at as it got towards the end of the dinner party.
Karina
But
had
by
me
the time
crying though. Karina
Karina was the
Karina had
best.
me crying. I
Karina
was
was calm, cool, and collected, and Paul was just behind her laughing. He was letting her go. She wasn't rude. She wasn't nothing. She was just calling him on all his shit and making him look dead ass stupid.
so overall, no. Sorry I interrupted, but I had to get that out because I was like, Katie, you're better than that. Much better.
I think she has to learn it. Like you said, she came in here with desperation, but she also came
Mm.
in here putting 150% into this because she knew she couldn't do it on her own, that these are the experts. Like this was her last chance. And I think she needed to build up herself a little bit more before coming into an experiment like this
I
because,
do agree with that. That's the
yeah.
perfect way to explain it. She needed to build herself more before coming. Perfect.
Because people like this show is full of people like Tim and Elliot, unfortunately, and Adrian, as we'll find out. And
Okay.
mhm.
And why did Tim show up homeless? Or like he was going to a
Oh my
rave
God,
concert?
Tim, the nose piercing, the tattoos, the clothes looking disheveled and too small and like wrinkled and moist. Like he was smelling like toe jam to me. And I say that with all affection. Um,
Oh, you like the ripped up knees even?
uh,
His knees were ripped. He had holes in the knees.
look, I already commented on that. He looks like a busted sausage casing because everything is two sizes too small for him. There was no excuse him coming to that dinner party and we was seeing his undergut. And we saw it multiple times. No, we saw his underwear on the honeymoon out in those ripped jeans. Nothing fits him properly. And that tells me that he's thinking that he's the same person he was in his 20s when he was skinnier, and thinking that he's the shiz with that nose piercing. Dude, grow up. Take that out. Take that out. Buy clothes that are your size. And try acting your age and try being a decent human being. How are you a fucking teacher? He's sitting on the internet whining and moaning about how he can't go anywhere. People are attacking him. He's the most hated person in Australia. Like, bitch, you ain't see them cameras rolling, and then you lying about it, saying that you don't have a type when you were at the Bucks night. On your video, it said, I just want somebody with a pretty face. But at the wedding, you're like, she needs to be blonde, short, and petite. When were you ever going to pull anything blonde, short, and petite other than a poodle?
On payday.
Like I said last week, I am not a parent, but if I had a child and they were enrolled at his school in his class, I would be up at the principal's office, because the way how you treated that woman, what are you teaching my child? And how are you interacting with my kid?
But he's a PE teacher though, so I don't think he's really
Don't
teaching them
care.
anything on it.
Don't care. Because if my kid fall, I'm going to need you to be there and show some care. And he showed no care or concern for this woman whatsoever. And my PE teacher back in the day also taught social studies.
Tim doesn't strike me as a person who has those kind of credentials.
I wouldn't be letting him into school, period. There's too much of his body that's showing. I don't know. I don't want my kid to know what your undergut look like.
Oh my goodness, Tim. So what happened after that? After Karina got up into him and he was just deflecting left and right.
Jamie
Jamie
was
was
about to
going.
pop off.
Yeah, Jamie was just going in, and I agree with her. I'm glad she said so. She's like, I can't be the only one saying this. I need someone to back me up here. And then,
Mhm.
Grant Karina came in to the rescue. But outside of the dinner party, did anything else happen outside of that? I think that was like the focus of the dinner party, from what I saw was
Hold
Tim
up.
and Katie.
We got to address Tony, because Tony was actually going to bat for this fool. We got to give him a chance. I think they're overreacting. What? You're listening to his bullshit? And he is the worst gaslighter I've ever seen on this show. The
That was
worst. Like, we've seen masters at it, like Harrison, like Bryce. And they enrolled this dude to come on our screens this year. He was the worst. They really are scraping the bottom of the barrel. Oh my god, I forgot to put up their picture. Oh, let's show this man. That's Ashley. This one. This is the man with the undergut. Gross. My god.
who
Did
next?
anything else happen at this dinner?
Not nothing that I got from. Excuse me, sorry. Nothing that I can remember. I think that was like I said, the crux of the dinner party was Tim and Katie.
Hmm. Hold on. Okay, so It all ends with Karina making him so uncomfortable and deflecting all of his deflections, that he gets so angry he gets up, and Tim just walks out of the dinner. And basically, that was the end of that episode with Tim walking away through the lounge. So let's go to episode 7. Um, hold on. Okay, so in episode 7, let's keep on with Katie and Tim. Katie's advised by the producer that Tim has decided not to move into the apartment and return back to Melbourne. He needs some space to gather his thoughts and to decide where he goes forward with this experiment. Um, the smirk on Katie's face was epic. She calls him a selfish prick. End scene. Best segment of the episode. Hold on, let me see what else I have here with her. Katie and Tim. Okay. Um, Even though Tim's gone home, they've asked Katie to participate in Confessions Week, because this week is Confessions Week and we saw way too much of it and I was bored to death. The producers give her Tim's audition video. Tim says that he wants a pretty face, a natural person. They asked him about initial spark, and he says that he's willing to give it a go and he would work at it. She is so upset when she sees this video. She says he's full of lies and complete and utter bullshit. He's got some answering to do, and she takes off her wedding ring and flicks it on the table. See, she's redeeming herself, Jamal. She really is. Then further on in the episode, we see Katie, who's invited Ashley and Jamie over. They've come over to give her support. They asked her to get the rundown on what's happened. She tells them that he's gone back home, and that she saw the video. She says she learned a lot about herself. She learned that she's learned what she's been through with Tim has been an epic failure, but she's learned not only about herself, but she can actually smile about it now. And there's no knocking her, motherfucker. Those are her words. So Jamie did call him a wussy pussy. And honestly, I like that name. I'm going to steal it from Jamie. But I think that was it for them in this episode.
Yeah, I don't know anything else.
Who else do you want to talk about in this episode?
Oh, was this the episode with
There
okay,
was
who were the couples in this episode? I watched them like all straight, like
Jackie.
I need to taking notes.
Yeah, Jackie and Ryan had a big thing in this episode. Athena and Adrian had a big thing in this episode. Sierra and Billy, Marina and Tony, they had a little bit. But yeah, Jackie and Ryan, I think, dominated this episode along with Adrian and Athena.
Okay, so with is this are we in the picture ranking? Is this where the picture rankings start for this Confessions Week?
Yeah, it's picture ranking, it's audition videos, it's telling the secrets and the X Files. So we get to see all of them.
All right, so my whole thing, Jackie and Jackie and Ryan. Now Ryan, sir, uh, your wife comes first. When he
Mm-hmm.
said that was it Sierra or Karina, one of the two, he's like, I just think she has a more attractive face. I was like, oh my God. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, like, and then, the dark hair and the blue eyes. That's
That
just like
was
really
Ree.
attractive to
He was
me.
talking about
Well,
Ree.
Re,
Yeah.
I really
Mhm.
love that combination. Like, I go weak for that or something. And she's sitting there like, okay. And he's like, I'm gonna be really honest here. I'm gonna be I'm not gonna be fake. He's like,
Mm,
I'm gonna put you third. But then he tell her, he's like, well, I couldn't really put you fourth. I was like, what?
mm. I, that's another thing about Ryan. I don't think he reads the room well. I don't think he knows how to be in a relationship with someone. They were having issues from the moment they moved into the apartment. He was
Right,
walking
agreed.
around in his outside shoes and putting them on the
Okay,
furniture.
Debbie,
Um,
I thought
uh,
about you with that. I thought about you about that. I'm like, I thought about you right. I thought about you the whole time. Like, ooh, I think Debbie would cut his feet off, putting the
yes,
shoes on the bed, the dirty
like
shoes on the bed, though.
the shoes would
Come
have
on
just
now.
disappeared because you don't know how to use them properly. So I would have like thrown them away. They would have disappeared. I don't know where your fucking shoes went. Deal with it.
I was like, Ryan, shoes on the bed, though. Come
Mm-hmm.
on now.
Hold
And she,
on.
in this instance, she wasn't being unreasonable. The TV in the bedroom. Now, I will say this.
Uh-huh.
Now, in my personal opinion, when you are in a relationship, a loving relationship,
Uh-huh.
I don't think you need TV in the bedroom, personally, unless y'all are partaking in the triple X type entertainment. I don't think you need a TV in the bedroom.
I need a TV in my bedroom.
Debbie, I said
Yeah.
if you're in a loving
I can
relationship,
be I can be in one of those, but I need a TV in my bedroom because I need to fall asleep to voices.
should not be your man's like whispering
No.
sweet loving situation.
No. No. I do need to fall asleep with like hearing voices. It's on very low and I don't mind like the lights. And if he minds, then there I'm asked for that. Deal with it. But I thought it was irrational of her to cry about it.
It
You're in
was.
an apartment hotel and they're going to have a TV in every room. So
Yeah,
shut up. Shut
I
up,
agree. No,
Jackie.
she overreacted per usual. She's a drama queen, but I did agree with the sentiment.
The amount of times she was there crying every other episode was exhausting. It's exhausting. I don't know. I just don't have the patience for her. Um, but when he left those shoes on the bed, I know that probably wasn't this episode. Not only the shoes would have been down the bin, but so like that is, and she said those were airport shoes. Oh my
Right.
god! Oh my god!
That's why I thought about you because you said airport
Oh,
shoes.
oh my god! It's just, like I know, like okay. So when you enter my apartment, right? I have a shoe tray,
Right.
and like I just automatically take off whatever shoes I have on, and I put it on the tray.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I usually have a pair of slippers there because I took off my slippers and I put on my shoes and I went out the door and then I come back. I just put on my slippers and I go. I like my family knows when they arrive. You want us to take off our yes, they take off because we're from like my nephew tried to walk in my house with his sneakers and I was like, come take off, and his mother backed me up, right? But if I go to someone else's house, I take off my shoes. I do. Because you don't know what I stepped in.
Right. Exactly.
And when I come from the airport, I strip at the like after I shut my door, I strip and run straight to the shower. And then everything is left at the front door until I can do laundry. It's not coming in my house. Period. But um, yeah, he would have been in the bin for me. Sorry. And my house is a wreck. I just have given up on doing most of my chores because no one comes here, and I don't care. But like certain things, I'm not gonna slack off on, and that's like outside stuff.
Right.
You come in my house, take off your shoes. Period. Um, what else happened in this episode with them?
I
She
think that
really
was
took
it for them.
offense. Yeah, she really took offense, and I would have too. And I think he was trying to pull a power dynamic on her by trying to put her down a peg or two and trying to get her back for harassing him about the shoes issue and the TV issue and whatever they were at that point. And that's when it became a tit for tat. I don't think they tried to get to know each other. I think
Nah,
that they tried to dominate each other instead of trying to work together. Neither one of the two of these people know how to be in a relationship, and it's annoying to
agreed.
watch. Um was there anything else with them?
No, was this episode she got her lick back, or was that episode 8?
Yes. So she's plotting to get him back with the next task, and it's the questions. So she says we'll see how he likes brutal honesty because that's what he told her about the picture ranking, right?
Right.
And so the first question is, what have you learned about yourself from dating your ex? He said some crap. I didn't pay attention to it. His neck got in the way for me. Um, he asked her to describe her ex to him, and she says he was 6'4", blonde, blue eyes, and a godlike body. That had his face cracked.
He
And
was pissed. He was pissed. I was like,
pissed.
well,
He was pissed. He says, "What if I said my ex had a godlike body?" And she said, "I wouldn't be surprised." He says that that's a huge statement to make. He says that he says he's got a better body than you or something like that. He is so fixated on the body,
yeah. He
right?
said he's like also like he has a better body than mine. She's like I didn't say
Hmm.
that. I just said he had a godlike body.
That's right. But he took it and twisted it. This is how I know he's not capable of being in a relationship. And he doesn't read the room. He gets fixated on one little thing and then starts circling the train with it. And it's very annoying. Um, so he says, after she said that he was twisting it, he says that her answer was a dumb answer. He thinks that she was um what that he thinks that she should have some consideration from where he's coming from. And then he asked her, if your ex proposed while y'all were together, would you have said yes? She says yes. Quickly, she said yes.
Very quickly. I'm like, oops.
Face looked like the Grinch that stole Christmas at this point. And he says, that's big. Maybe you should fly over there and catch up with him. He says, I don't want to hear you saying that you're attracted to your ex when you're married to me. Jackie says that she really wanted to get under his skin and piss him off. Can you measure up? No, you can't. My God, these two are petty.
They are a mess. I was like, y'all are really just taking it to a new level of petty.
I think they're the comedic relief
I
for
I
this
agree.
for this show because they are in no way attracted to each other. Um, I, like they're not capable of having a relationship. A
No.
Spartan warrior bod would have been better. Oh my God, he would have cried.
Yeah. Oh, for
He would have
sure.
cried. Okay, so who do you want to talk about next? Adrian and Athena?
Yes. I'm not gonna say this right now. I'm sick of both
Uh,
of them. It's the
Uh,
same discussion over and over again. And I'm gonna say it like
mhm,
this. And for you Athena fans,
mhm,
um, y'all can deal with this. But the moment this man said that, like the kid part, right? Like when he went at the his speech, once
mhm.
he said that, you should not have slept with him.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's a huge red flag of you being a mother to a child. This man has blatantly said, basically, if you have kids, I'm really not that interested. That's what I heard. That's
Mm,
what I heard. And when you lay down with a man because, oh, second red flag, and this is on Athena, ma'am,
mhm,
you gave him all the power when you kept telling him he's so hot. Oh my God, you're too hot. He knew he had you right away. He knew he
mhm.
had you, no
Yeah.
matter what he said. He knew he's gonna get it in and you was gonna enjoy it. So
Mm,
you gave him all the cards to play. You have zero. So you can't sit up here when this man has repeatedly said, I don't care if he said he's open or not, he's not. And this is just my opinion. I'm making a general statement here.
mhm,
When men say that I want to have children, but I don't want to be a father to someone else's children, and I want my wife's child to be my first child as well. When a man says that, cut it and run because he's not going to change his mind on that. It's not going to change. And it's
mhm,
not like you're a bad person or you're like damaged. Like some men just want that feeling with their wife of them having their first child together.
mhm.
You made the mistake, and I think you mentioned this last week that she continues to make the same mistake over. She
Yes.
picks men who are probably her ex is probably hot, very hot too, and they have
Mhm,
such good sexual chemistry is why they stay together. And she kept thinking that he's hot, we can make it work. And then in that instance they had a child, so they probably stayed together for the child for a long time.
mhm.
But because she fixated on he's hot, and then secondary is when he has issues with her having the child.
Yeah. Like at the top of the episode, we see her saying that the relationship is solid, and I remember saying to myself, "Well, wait, you forgot about your kid and his issue with your kid?" But okay, but that's how we open the episode with her saying that they are solid. As we go on, um, they get the picture challenge, and she of course puts him as number one. And you'll find that most of the time, like the women on this show always put the man number one, and it is the bumfuck men who be ranking their
Yep,
spouses lesser
agreed,
than.
agreed.
So women, take note. Make the men go first and then do yours afterwards. Um, so then he's doing his, and he's teasing her where he's gonna place her. And then he eventually puts her as one, but it seemed half-assed to me.
It was.
Um, they both said that they enjoyed the task. Um, Adrian actually came up with a really good idea, an appreciation jar. So they write down every time one of them does something that they're for the other one that they're appreciative of. And so they put it in the jar, and at the end of the week, they can read it to each other. And I thought that that was cute because at that point, I thought that he was like becoming like getting to know her. And in my mind, if he's getting to know her and he likes her, then he will grow to like her child. I thought he was making progress with that.
Mm-mm.
Ugh.
Nope.
But anyway, next we go to watching the audition video, right? Their next challenge is the audition video. He says that he wants kids, and in the video, and I think he said the term like yesterday. So Athena's like, to me that means you want a ready-made family. Girl, don't interpret what this motherfucker is thinking.
Exact. Thank you.
because you, once he found out that you had a kid, Athena, you was nothing more than a whore. And he had put it in his mind that he was going to dick you down this entire time and never commit to you. And that you're soiled goods. He ain't want nothing to do with you. Um, Adrian says he didn't say that. He wanted someone else's kid several times. Athena says, stop using language like that. She says that we parked it and we're gonna get to know each other better, but the language you're using now means that it's definite. She says it feels like they're never going to get past this surface level. Then she asked him, why are you still here? If you don't want someone with children, um, if and then he says he knows he wants to be here. He says that she checks 8 out of 10 boxes, and he's trying to keep an open mind. I'm like, wait, hold up. You were saying all the right things, Athena. You were saying all the right things, but I think there's a deficit in your hearing, because he's telling you you only check 8 of the 10 boxes. You ain't never gonna check off them last two. And
Mm-mm.
stop putting sexual attraction in front of your son. This man is never going to accept your son, and ergo is never going to accept you. If I was her after this conversation, I would be writing leave on my
Leave.
card for the commitment ceremony. I would be writing leave. But what did she do? I think she went and fucked him that night. They
Mm.
started off back to back, but then
Yeah.
we went in for a cuddle. Cuddle mean dicking down. Come on,
Right.
Athena. We know that. Um, then hold on. Is it in this episode or the next? It has to be the next episode. But they got those two challenges this in this episode. Oh yeah, yeah.
I believe so.
Okay, so we've got a little bit more. Okay, so
Because I
let's
think
go.
the letter writing was in episode 8.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For let's go through this really quickly because Jamal just let me know that he has a meeting at 7:30. Okay, so Morena and Tony, we see them a little bit. They're drinking coffee. She's complaining about his snoring. And this is where we start seeing her continuous talking, and he's just sitting there zoning out. In this episode, it looks cute. In future episodes, it looks troublesome.
And I get where she's coming from. I'm gonna say this now
Mhm.
because probably in her mirror she was so suppressed she never got a word in. That's my
Yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Next up is Sierra and Billy. Hold on, let me see if I can find them.
Oh yes, Camille, I heard about that too. Camille said it is rumored that there is a domestic violence thing against Adrian.
Yes, Jamal and I were talking about that yesterday. It went to court. He was found not guilty. Um, so he thinks that he's good. Um, for me, not so much. Not so much. And in coming episodes, the way how he reacts to the producers talking to him, um, that is very concerning. His responses are very concerning. Sierra and Billy, um, they go to a pet store. They go to buy goldfish. He is scared of birds, and she chases him around the store with it. It is very cute. Um, Billy is cooking her dinner for their confessions challenge. They get the letter first. Um, and he writes this really heart-wrenching letter to her, confessing how his father basically he never had a relationship with his father, and he went all the way over to England to see him, and the father like ditched him, and he was crying, and I felt so bad for him. And she handled it well. She let him say his piece, and then she hugged him, and I like how they handled it. Who else is on this episode? Let's see. Oh, Sierra admitted that she doesn't trust her gut often. She was dating some sports guy, and she didn't find out until later that he had a wife and a kid back home. Um, and she's like, what she learned from that relationship is to learn to trust her gut,
Hmm.
um, with regards to other people's characters. And I think that's it for this episode. Oh wait, Karina and Paul. They were talking about sexcapades, and I
Right.
think she's a freak or something. I don't know.
Like yeah, yeah. He's spontaneous, and he thought I'm ready whenever we can. So they were talking about like places where like if it wasn't in the bed where you have to have sex, he's like I'm down anywhere. He's like if you come in looking real good in that outfit, I'll just put you on the bar or the table or whatever, and we just go at it. She's like okay, thank God you're not boring.
They are a cute couple. I hope that they make it. I really do. I hope they
Same.
make it. Okay, so now let's go to episode 8. Um, Jamie admits that she hasn't had sex with who her husband name? Jake?
Dave.
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 Yeah. She hasn't had any sex with him yet. Girl, what you waiting for? Um let's go back. Hold on. Why can't I find these people? Here we go. Athena and Adrian. It's the morning after the big fight. They get up together. They're laughing and giggling as if nothing has happened. Um, I said, like, I feel like he doesn't like her as a permanent partner. He's just there to have sex with her. And now that he knows that, she has a kid,
Agree.
you know, it's not going to happen. But might as well take advantage of the free cooch while you're there. That these are all my little thoughts about it. Let's see. Are they anywhere else? Yes. Okay. I think this is where they are asking each other what she's learned from previous relationships. She says teamwork is very important to her. Um, that's what she's taken away from previous relationships. Mind you, I think she's only had one serious relationship, and that's with her child's father, because she was with him from 15. So, again, very
Right.
experienced in a modern dating world. She was with one person for almost 15 years, for almost half of her life. So she's got to do better with this. The next question is, have you ever cheated on a past partner? And she says when she was 21 or 22, she made out with somebody at a bar. And right afterwards, she told her child's father, her boyfriend, it was before they had the baby. And they worked it out and they decided to move on and stay together, right? Adrian says, no excuses. And he starts going in on her. I did not like this.
No.
It just showed his lack of character.
And it just adds more credence to what you said. Like he's just there for the free cook, the free coochie.
Yes, he's telling her that he doesn't accept unfaithfulness and all of that. And then when production is asking him, he's a hypocrite because he gives some bullshit answer about we was kind of on a break but not and blah blah blah. And she said, how about if I say that I saw your audition? And his face cracked.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Um, let's see. uh they're doing the confessions letter now. Athena goes to another room so that she could write out her confession letter. She comes back and she says, okay, did you do yours? And he's like, no. So now he's not participating in the experiment. And she's
Exactly.
like, that starts another fight where he tries to like shut her down and make her stop talking. And she's like, I'm gonna put my letter someplace where where you can't read it. He's like, don't worry, I'm not reading it. What? He is like disassociating. I Production is asking him why he didn't want to do it. He says he doesn't know. It felt like he was taking it like a joke because he was smirking and snickering while he was talking to production.
Hmm.
She says if you wanted to have a fun 10 weeks with someone, you've got the wrong girl. Um, she then admits that she feels like he's trying to keep something from her. Um, she says, if you had nothing to hide, why are you being so defensive? He tells her that she talks too much and to start listening. And she says, start communicating. He says, stop talking. He tells her then he goes to production and he's asked if he's going to apologize and he says no and he's still smirking. And at this point I'm saying to myself, he doesn't like her. He doesn't like her at all. This, like, how she's not picking up on this is mind-boggling to me. Let's do Ashley and Jake because they did the photo challenge that went way wrong.
Right.
Way wrong. I thought that they were happy. I thought that they were a jokey couple. They get this photo challenge, and he starts saying crazy shit about the women as he's ranking them. He says Jackie's not his cup of tea. No, Katie's not his cup of tea. Jackie has crazy eyes. Morena, he doesn't like older chicks, but she probably looked good back in the day. Sierra has an intimidating look on her face, and screams like she would stab you in the bed or something.
Yeah.
Um, for Athena, he says, I don't want to sound racist, but I prefer, like, I've dated only Caucasian girls. Ree, he says, has a lazy eye, but she's pretty. I guess Karina is conventionally pretty, but she knows it. And Ashley tells him, why are you saying such bad things about, like, the people on this show? And, like, she was trying to give him a chance to, like, shut up. Like, there are cameras filming. And he's
Mhm.
just going on. And it's just crazy. And they basically wind up having a fight. She's so up, well, he gets upset. He goes into the toilet. She starts drinking wine and then goes down the hallway to, I think, Sierra and Billy's place and tells Sierra what he said. Billy's taking offense. He's gonna, like, man up to him at the dinner party coming on Sunday and saying, you can't say that about my wife or these other ladies. And now she's regretting that she opened her mouth. Oh my God. And if you see Jake, like, again, another Dungeons and Dragons wannabe, where are they getting these men from? And why are y'all accosting these women with them? Um, Anything else you want to say on them?
Jake was just weird when he tried to say it was a joke. And the thing
Mm-hmm.
is this: Ashley kept looking at him while he was talking. If you look at, if you to me, the way I was watching it is like
Mm-hmm.
when he was talking, she would look at like the camera, like dead into the camera, and then look
Mm-hmm.
back at him like she was trying to get his attention. And that's when she
Yes.
said like, when he's like, well, I would not say this to their face. She's like, well, if you wouldn't say it to their face, you shouldn't really say it at all. And then she looked to me, she looked back at the camera like, dude,
Yeah.
stop talking.
Yes. Yeah. Like a plum idiot. It was, I don't even want to say it was a rookie mistake because why are you saying that, period?
Yeah.
Why? But his people are saying that they did take after take after take and he was trying to get the worst out of him. So his people are blaming production. But you got common sense, dude.
Exactly.
You got common sense. All right, so let's go back to Jackie and Ryan because they are still going at it in this episode. Um, they are still going tit for tat. Um, Jackie does the letter writing task, and I think this is when she pulls up her resume and she goes and she sits down and she goes bullet point by bullet point by bullet point. And Ryan thinks that, like, he's zoning out during it. He says that he feels like she's grandstanding and patronizing. He feels insulted. He says he wasn't expecting to hear that. He says that it read like a profile of her resume. Um, he says, I want to get to know more. Um, she's not taking this well because she's so tied up in identifying as her resume instead of as a person. Um,
Exactly.
and she freaks out again. These two are toxic. She feels like he's attacking her, and he gets up to leave. And he says the honeymoon phase is over. It's going to be challenging. Um, we see cut to the next scene, and Jackie went out to. She interpreted his rejection of her resume as his lack of financial skills, so she went out and bought him a book on finances and came home and gave it to him. He accepts the book and says, "I'm being coached." Um, at least he can understand that. Was there anything else with them? No. And last up is Morena and Tony. They get the X-Files challenge. Tony says he used to find his ex used to find a restaurant on the tallest building to book a dinner reservation, and Marina cuts him off and says, "That's lovely. You spent time together." And then he says, "Yeah, on top of the world." And she says, "I love it, but I'm not jealous." She said, she starts talking about her husband, and he sits there and he starts zoning out, and he's like, she won't let me talk. I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. But they kind of make like a nice couple. Or maybe I just want them to be nice too much. Jamie and Dave. Oh my God. Do you have anything to say about Tony and Marina?
No, I'm just hoping that I'm hoping the experts can guide her
Mm-hmm.
um, to where she understands what she's doing. So I don't think she's doing anything out of malice. It's
Yeah.
just for the first time she has someone who's willing to listen to her, and she's taking full advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree with you on that. I hope that they do help her a little bit because Tony could be it for her.
Yes.
You know. Why do I feel like the next shoe is going to fall with him? He might be too good to be true. But anyway, moving on. We have Jamie and Dave. They also get the X Files challenge, I think. Jamie says that she'll never date someone who doesn't have money. They they do. Oh, I was saying to myself, they make a cute couple. He says that he doesn't want to see any of her exes. He doesn't want to know anything about them. He just wants to know about her. And he tells her, and she starts teasing him, saying, "Oh, that's because you like me. You like me." And he tells her, "Shush." Then they get to watch the videos from their interview process. And she is typical Jamie, going through all her red flags, making jokes, bubbly personality, and he loves it. He loves, like, he's really quiet, and I think she brings out something in him, and like, automatically, we've seen her go to him as someone who could calm her down and anchor her, so they fulfill needs for each other, which I love.
Yes.
um let's see. It's the next day, and Jamie advises us that she and Dave have had sex. She had concerns about their height issues, their discrepancies, but they made it work. Ciao. I would love to see a video of that. Anyone else on this episode that Sierra and Billy, what did they do?
Nothing
Oh,
really.
they did the picture challenge. She finds Tony attractive. He has her as number one.
He's like, oh,
But
you like the silver fox? He's like, yeah, I like deities. I'm like, oh, okay, Sierra, we see you, we okay. That gives me some more insight to you. We understand.
hmm let's see. He realizes that she tries to be a confident person, and he hopes that by going through this, it shows her that she's the best thing for him. Again, I think he likes her more than she likes him. I think she sees him more as a friend. Unfortunately, she does say that she was very lucky to be matched with Billy, and that's why I'm so surprised that she cheats on him with like scumbucket Elliot. Is it
Um,
Elliot?
no, Adrian,
No, Adrian.
I'm not
Yes.
surprised because she's insecure. So any
Mm-hmm.
male attention she gets, she's going to latch on to.
Yeah, but I think we've got all of the. I think we hit all of the couples. Did we?
We did so
Ree and
good.
Jeff. Wait, Ree and Jeff. Confessions
Oh, there's just
task.
yeah, that was the only thing.
Um, they're doing the letter challenge. Ree's writing about a letter. She had to share some hard truths. I don't know. Oh, she confessed to him that she felt robbed when she saw him at the marriage, that it was somebody that she knew because she really wanted to come into this with a stranger. I feel that they told each other that they were going on the show and they wanted to get hooked up together. I don't know why I feel that. But yeah, that's it. We've got everybody. The only time we saw Karina and Paul in this episode was them down at the hot tub, and they was looking gorgeous.
They was having
Ooh.
fun. I like them. They better make it.
Yes, that's I want them to be a successful couple. They probably won't, knowing the track record of the show, but I want them to be a successful couple. Billy does seem to like her more than he's aware of her insecurity and make decisions to please her. Yes, yes, Farmata. All right, guys, we've got to go because Jamal's got to go to a meeting and I've got to go and get some work done. Thanks for joining us today. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and join us again next Friday for the next 4 episodes of Married at First Sight Australia. Don't forget, you can watch it on YouTube, Daily Motion, and wherever you can find bootleg videos of this show. All right, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Jamal, any final thoughts?
Have a wonderful weekend. See you next week and be safe.
Yes. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.